eat would bring their own food and eats it in the room, breakfast and lunch tomorrow. Do you think possible? Oh, I thought, everybody would say, yeah! But I see that, oh my gosh. I thought it would encourage more people to fast if you're too lazy to bring your own food. Because if the food is here, already that you now, for the drinks and the coffee, if you want to eat and drink tomorrow, you have to go over there. It's been a bit of a, what? Coffee is not here? Yeah, it's out of respect for those people who do the full fast. They don't have it in front of the nose, and you have to make a little bit of an effort to get your coffee. And everybody has coffee and tea in their room, so I don't know why that's to be done also here. Huh. Anyway, so the 8 minor precepts, one of them also is no jewelry and no perfume. Another one that is very easy to keep, so it's like not sitting with pride on high and very expensive beds and thrones, so there is no danger to do that, and no entertainment. Meaning, Yom Kippur is easy. No TV, no movie, no concert, no playing music yourself. Like this. So those are the 8 Mahayana precepts. So if you want to take them, we will do that now. If you don't want to take them, you can have a break. There is a little bit of a ceremony that goes with it. You can also stay here and see, whoa, I wonder what this is all about. It's nothing hidden or anything like that. We have a text which is say from now until what? We usually say from now until sunrise tomorrow. So it's from now until star rise tomorrow. So we say that. I will not. I can read it to you so you know what you're saying. We can make it a bit short, actually. Where is it? Prayer for taking the precepts, and then so we say, from now on until sunrise tomorrow, I shall not kill, steal others' possessions, engage in sexual activity, or speak false words. I shall avoid intoxicants. So for this, actually, tobacco also goes into that. Because, most of the people want to stop smoking, isn't it? It costs a lot of money, it's not healthy, it's just a habit. I used to smoke. I was an alcoholic also, by the way. I used to smoke. I'm so happy I don't have to, it's like, every time you get out of the house, it's like, cigarettes, lighter, is it there? It was more important than the wallet or the keys or whatever. You have to, and then, the worst, I don't know. You have cigarettes, but nobody has a light. Wow. So much suffering, isn't it? If you don't have anything, it's okay. And we were talking about this with people my age, we had gas, like you still have gas to cook also. In Switzerland, hardly anybody has gas to cook. So we used to light the cigarette, you put it in your mouth and you go and then it would burn your hair. People my age used to remember that, who used to smoke. So, yeah, right. So it's so stupid, isn't it? So sometimes people ask about coffee, is coffee intoxicants? Well, no, intoxicant is something that is kind of altering your mind state, right? That's what it's like, drugs or things like that. But if you think you're addicted to coffee and you want to learn to abstain a little bit, by all means, you can include coffee, so it's up to you. I shall not sit on large, higher, expensive beds, or seats, so that's that. You can keep a vow. It's kind of a vow, when you're very arrogant, and in India, this comes from India, from the time of the Buddha. So people like you now, you would sit on the floor, and the Maharaja or whoever would sit on a couch kind of here, or lie on the couch. This is where the word divan comes from. It's like, it's Sanskrit. So this is what, with pride, like, looking down on people. What it creates when you do that, people will, in future lives, or even now, they will start respecting you. It's a nice thing when people respect you, isn't it? We like to be respected. We like to be listened to, and then people do what we ask them to do, if it's reasonable or not. You don't care about being respected? Yeah. Oh, look, most of them, they don't care, so you can do with them whatever you want. You don't have to respect them. No, come on, respect is very, not fear, but to honor somebody's presence, to see them, to listen to them, to acknowledge them that they exist, and also to acknowledge that they can have a different opinion, which is not yours, but still okay. Even if it's totally opposite to your opinion, but they're still human beings like you who want to be happy and don't want to suffer. That's what respect is, not fear. Yeah. I think young people lose a little bit. Isn't it? It's like just saying hello, things like that. And respect is something that has to be learned. So if the parents are not teaching the kids, they will not learn it. And respect gives you so much freedom, because you don't have to hate anybody, because you're respecting them. You can disagree with what they say, that's fine, but you can still respect them. And it makes you feel a much calmer person if you respect somebody. It's a happy mind that sees somebody that one respects. So it's good for us. So that's probably where if you create actions out of arrogance, like words and actions, especially in the mind, then that creates the karma that nobody will respect you. So if you feel that nobody respects you or listens to you, that's probably this kind of karma ripening. Now it's becoming a bit Buddhist here, yeah, isn't it, talking about karma. I shall not eat food at the wrong times. So if you decide that from now on, because now it's dark, you're not going to eat and drink, so you say, I will not eat and drink at wrong times, I shall avoid singing, dancing, playing music, I shall not wear perfumes, garlands, or ornaments. Okay? Is that clear? So kind of, we're not going to do the whole thing because it is very Buddhist. So I will invent a little bit, I will manipulate a little bit, so I take, instead of taking refuge, you think about your own object of refuge, or an object, somebody that you trust, somebody that you would it would help you, that if you make a promise to that person, it will help you to keep it. Like for example, when we have people with us, not here in the courses, I think it never happened, but when there's danger that somebody wants to kill themselves, we make them promise that from now till tomorrow, you have to promise not to kill yourself. And it keeps them alive, yeah? Also, like, if you make a promise to somebody and you break it, you don't feel good. But especially if you want to cut habits and stuff like that, and you promise to somebody that you respect, so in this case it's the Buddha, you will be able to keep it. Yeah, because you have the help of the Buddha, because the Buddhas are always there, the Buddhas are everywhere. So you choose your own, your own object from whom you're actually receiving the vows. So it's not rules, right? These vows are being taken voluntarily. You know what you're doing, you think it's a good thing, because now from the Buddhist point of view, if you just abstain from doing kind of harmful things, it's not creating positive karma. It's only positive karma if you have a vow of not doing it, or if, let's say, I see an ant or a mosquito here, and I go, zack. That's the negative karma of killing, negative action of killing. I see it, I see my motivation, I don't want this thing being here, has no right to be here, and I do the action, and at the end I'm happy that I got it, and it's not going away. Instead of being happy that I didn't kill it, then I'm unhappy that it kind of escaped. So that's a full action of killing. If I see it and I go, no, I don't want to kill it, that creates the positive karma of not killing. Just not killing because there's nothing to kill, it does not create the karma of not killing. Taking a vow of not killing, it creates the karma of not killing. Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct and all this. So we're creating positive energy that will give us in the future what we want 24 hours a day by taking these precepts or vows. This is like turning on the washing machine, you know. Taking these vows is you push the button and then it does it by itself. You don't even have to think about it. In the King of Concentration Sutra by the Buddha, it says that you can make offerings to millions of Buddhas, as much as grains of sand in the Ganges. But if somebody who's holding one vow for just one day creates more positive karma. The Buddha said. So of course then we can say, you prove it to me, I can't prove it to you. Right? But maybe we have people who take vows from time to time and they can tell you what it does to them. Right? Is that more or less clear what we're going to do? I'm not going to make you say things that you don't want to say because they sound religious or because they're Buddhist, okay? We're just basically taking the vows, but from an object of reference. From my side, it can be a source of light, it can be the universe, it can be your mother, it can be your father, your teacher, whatever. I am taking them from the Buddha, that I visualize in the space in front of me in the form of light. Because I want to get there. I want to attain that same state of mind, which is universal compassion, universal love, and especially universal wisdom. Meaning seeing things as they are and not being stuck in that wrong view that things exist the way that they appear to us. Because that's not true. If things would exist the way they appear to us, they would appear to everybody same. Then everybody would vote for only one. Because that one would appear to everybody as the perfect prime minister. Anyway, don't worry so much about your government, because you can have the best government in the world, you will still have citizens that are not happy because they have different views. No, not even the Buddha could make with his governing a country, you know, he takes away the money from the rich and he gives it to the poor. Well, what do you think the rich are going to do? They're going to Switzerland, or Belgium, or Luxembourg, or places like this, you know, where their money is safe and not being taken away. So, it's not possible. But anyway, we're not going to talk about politics. So it's good to think that I'm making this promise not to do this in front of somebody that you respect. It can be God, if you're Christian, which you're probably not. It can be Jesus, can be the Buddha. The Buddha can be also even if you're not Buddhist. But if you're not Buddhist and you're Jewish, then don't contradict these. If you're not Buddhist but you're Jewish, you know, the Buddha won't mind if you visualize the Buddha and you take these vows from him. But if you think that God would be upset, then don't. You understand? Don't do anything that that maybe I do or I tell you to do or to visualize or to think. Don't do anything that you think would upset what you are believing in very strongly. So you see, from Buddhism is not so much a devotion and belief kind of vehicle. It's more a vehicle where you have to check what is valid. But with the vows you can't check. Yeah, but with other things that we learn from Buddhism, that there is suffering. You think, yeah, there is suffering. Yes, no, yeah. So we definitely see the suffering of pain. Even animals see this. They run away when we threaten them, or they yowl when they have an injury or whatever. But the Buddha taught also about suffering of change, which we already don't understand. He said, with this kind of thinking that the pleasure is in the object out there, we cannot consume it indefinitely because we will lose the pleasure. Do you think that's true? Why do you think there's more and more and more kinds of glida in the glideria? You know, when we were a kid, we had chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. That was it. We didn't have to make this choice with 50 different things here, you know. So you could, you know, one day vanilla, one day strawberry, one day chocolate, and that was okay if you got an ice cream every day. Here, my gosh, you know, you buy 3 different ones. Why 3 different ones? Well, and then they go into each other, and and then you take a lick and you say, oh, should have taken that one. Isn't it? It's always like that. We would think, oh, you know, the more choice we have, the less pleasure we have, by the way, because we have to make decisions. And the real pleasure only comes in the first moment, when you have never met it. This is the thing. And then, because it's wow, you know, this is psychology, it's not Buddhism, okay? We go, wow, and then we try to recreate. Why is the first moment the best? The only one that is the best. Why? For those who don't know, when I ask these kind of questions, I'm waiting for an answer. And you have to speak loud, because not only I'm losing my memory, I'm also losing my hearing, and hearing aids don't help. So I will go deaf at one point also. So this is also very funny, because when 2 people, I think you were talking to, you know, they were talking in Hebrew, and I was sitting there, and they said, do you mind that we're talking Hebrew? I said, no, I'm training. I'm training to sit in a group of people and not being able to understand anything, and still be happy. So that's my training. So I'm absolutely not worried if I'm sitting in a group of people and I don't understand. Main thing is that I'm with the people. Yeah? So again, also, don't get upset if I don't understand what you're saying. I don't hear well. So if you're sitting behind there, you're asking the question, I have to ask 5 times and I still don't understand what you're saying. Now I forgot the question that I asked. Hey, no, what was something about that? Why is the first moment, why is only the first moment the best moment? Why? Huh?
Maybe because after it, then we expect it to be like the first moment, and like every moment is maybe different from the previous one, so we, like, by definition, have a sort of disappointment in the second moment because it's not like the first one.
Yeah, no, because we have nothing to compare. So it's good enough. So just having another type of glida is not helping, because you know a lot of other glida. See, so it's really complicated. Then we try to recreate that first moment. We cannot, because the mind compares very, very quickly. Yeah, so like that. Okay, so maybe we take the vows. It will take us 10, 15 minutes, but not even at the most, because we will also say the mantra. We will say mantra, which then we visualize light is coming from this object that you're taking the vows from, and it purifies all your broken vows from all your past lives. Now, of course, you say, I don't believe in past and future lives. But what if that exists? Why don't you just try and do it anyway? What's the harm? You know? Also, what it does, you see, we all want to be ethical, isn't it? It's all about ethical conduct, taking vows. We all recognize that being friendly is still now in the whole world. A friendly person is considered positive. The Dalai Lama said this morning. An unfriendly and aggressive person is considered negative. I mean, it's as simple as that. Or do we disagree with this? Do you agree with this or disagree with this? I'm still not sure. Gosh, you don't have opinions? What kind of Israelis are you? Usually you're so opinionated. You can say if you're not happy with what I'm saying. Yeah? You can rebel, you can protest, you can say something. So, I would like to be able to hold ethical conduct spontaneously, continuously, effortlessly. Not to lie, no harmful words, no gossip when somebody is not present talking about them, no divisive speech, definitely no negative thoughts. I would love to have that. And that's the training to get there. So that, for example, I think all of us, we have, because it's about taming the mind to go into negativities. We have also mind, not just the mind, but body and speech, okay? So we need to want that. We need to want to be ethical people. Otherwise, why make the effort if you don't want it? So as you go on a spiritual path, you have to become very clear what you want. You just do it because, well, Richard Gere, you probably don't know him anymore. It used to work like 20 years ago when I say because Richard Gere and Tina Turner are Buddhists, you want to become Buddhist, but you still know those people? Yes. Well, at my age, definitely, but the younger ones, you still know who is Richard Gere? So anyway, when you say I'm a Buddhist, sometimes people also say they see somebody who is very compassionate and they say, oh, he's such a Buddhist. Yeah, come on, you don't have to be a Buddhist to be compassionate. And I know Buddhists who are not compassionate at all, by the way, and claim that they are Buddhists. As a Buddhist, you want to get out of samsara. And to get out of samsara, like you want to be free from being under the control of negative emotions, like attachment, anger, greed, hatred, aggression, jealousy, pride, arrogance, all these things. That's what I want. This is why I'm a Buddhist, not because I want to wear these clothes. It's practical because I don't have to think what to put on in the morning. But anyway, so it's like, but also it helps because wearing these robes means I'm holding vows and I'm trying to hold. So this is what I want, and I see that I don't succeed. And it's getting better and better, but I'm still not totally succeeding. And I'm never happy, sometimes I can be quite grumpy, and somebody that I dislike, they ask something, and then I say, I'm not cooperating with them. Usually it's on the telephone, and then I put down the phone, and then I go like, but I don't want to be like this. But it's habits, it's tendencies. So please don't judge anybody. These habits and tendencies, if you don't train to go against them, they will become stronger and stronger and stronger. So by taking vows, it actually helps me to go to that goal, to be able to hold ethical conduct spontaneously, naturally. Like a mother who would never harm her children. And mother doesn't gossip about her children. If she says something negative, then it's about, to help them or something like that. Or would you go and gossip about Yaha? No, but we gossip about other people, do we? Yeah, so this is, and we think, well, it's normal, that's it, but it's not. Yeah, so I think all of us, we have subdued the body not to kill. Like none of us goes around wanting to kill humans, is it? And that's quite natural, it's quite normal. So that we've done that, so it's okay. Why did we do that? Because we did that through training, maybe not in this life, maybe in a previous life. So we already got that the right way, right? There's other people who walk around and they just kill humans. Maybe not one every day, but because then they get caught and put into prison. But we're not one of them. But I gossip, and then sometimes I don't tell 100% the truth. And what else? Negative thoughts. Definitely. So it's not pleasant. So in order to get rid of that, I see people are, full of hope, looking at the aircraft. I tell you what, looking up, unless you have special powers, is not going to do the trick. You need somebody like me who notices it and then does something about it by telling somebody, "Oh, Wanda at the back is going, it's too hot." So yeah, so please somebody who knows how to turn up the aircon. Or maybe you show somebody who sits in the back so you don't have to go every time. I think one of the rules is, in the Dharma Friends, isn't it, that you as individuals, you're not allowed to fiddle around with the aircon. So, yeah. So Niv knows how to do it. I don't know why it turns off by itself. It's funny, isn't it? You don't have the karma to have an aircon that is working properly. So I think you have to turn on 4 of them. Niv. I think you have to turn on 4 of them. 1 is not enough. Yeah, is it? How do you feel?
Hot.
Huh? Hot, yeah, hot. But it's okay, it's bearable. You know, imagine having been here 100 years ago in this country. It was just as hot and there was no air conditioning. People were much more courageous and much stronger and so like that. We become very dependent on these machines. What are you going to do when there's no more electricity? When you're not used to it. See, I see somebody is wearing a jacket, so you're probably okay with it. Thank you, Niv. Okay, so it might cool down. Maybe it will turn off again. Yes, Father? I don't understand one word, so...
In Iraq, they used to hang sheets that they drain with water.
Yeah, sure. We in India also, not just in Iraq. You know, in India it was 48 degrees, something like that. You couldn't even sit on the floor, it was so hot if it was stone floor. We would wet sheets and wrap them around us and wait until they were dry and then put water on and just sit and feel miserable. It's very hot. 48 degrees, I tell you, is really hot. Yeah, it is really hot. And yeah, that's what it was, and I survived. And we were not allowed to talk about the weather. Nobody was allowed to go, "Oh, it's so hot," nothing. That was forbidden, because it doesn't make it cooler. This is the thing. Yeah, but it's hot. You can't sleep. You cannot sleep. You can't find a place where it's cool. Everywhere is hot. Okay, so I don't know what you want to do. So maybe those who really don't want to know about these things and they don't want to take them, you go out or stay. I don't know. What shall we do? You also don't know, yeah? So what shall we do? We distribute the texts. Those who want to stay, you stay. Those who want to go, 15 minutes break. But then after the vows also, because it's only 7:30, after the taking the precept, you come back here and then we do a session. So by definitely the latest by 9 o'clock we'll be finished. Do you always go to sleep at 9 o'clock? No? Yeah, you can. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. Also, you know, this is what I try to tell people. You, all of you, except for me, sometimes also me, you have very little free time, isn't it? Yes? No? Yeah? Would you like to have more free time? Okay. That you enjoy. Where you're free, meaning really free, not having to do anything. Okay. Do you sometimes have to wait for somebody? So try to change that attitude of waiting into, good thing she or he is not here yet, I have time. We have to do like this. You really have to start, you know, to learn to take little breaks from time to time. But if you spend it waiting, you know, this was also when you said you want to stay in the car. I said, yes, of course, I stay in the car. I didn't feel like I had to wait. I was just sitting there and not having anything to do. Yeah? So this is what I mean. We can all train there if you have an attitude, yes, I want to have more free time. Because when you wait and try to see then, you start waiting and then see how that feels, and then you go, oh no,